Well, hello, happy internet people. Welcome back to my channel. So, big weekend of bowling. It was the Memorial weekend. So there was three events. There was the non-champions event, which is for any player that's not won a regional title. Sorry, any PBA title, regional or otherwise. That's the first part of the video. The second part of the video will be the actual regional itself. And then the PBA50 regional. So there are some clips of people bowling. There is the semi-final and the final of the non-champs. A couple of clips, nothing major, so you guys can have a look and see the level of players and the depth of players in this country, certainly in this region. And then there's some clips of the actual regional itself, also of the final. And some practicing and just generally walking into the bowling alley. And then there's a clip of the final of the PBA50 guys, because they played at the same time as the regionals final. Yeah, that's it. That's my video. Hope you enjoy it. As I said before, these are purely for my own narcissistic reasons and a bit of nostalgia when I look at my life later on in my years. When I look back at my life in America, I'll have something to look at, something to remind me. And hopefully you enjoy what I do. If you do, like and subscribe to my channel. And ignore all my rantings and ravings in the car. Okay, let's get into it then, shall we?
There we go. Oh! Right nine, yeah. It's not as good name, kept that jumping every time.
If you went off the sheet,
Right, there's 3 strikes to make the guy mark.
here.
Is that a good lane? Struck every time on this lane except the first one. Yeah, second one. Where'd you go?
Go, bro! Get them all.
Seems needs a mark.
Pin count would be good too.
Yeah, exactly.
In other words, don't throw a 7 count right here.
Yeah, make sure it's above at least a 9 and a 4.
It's a 9. It's a 9.
Strange things have happened.
Oh, Pat!
Alright, spare to win.
Yeah, you know that.
Western Beverage. Thank you very much for having us here. We hope you'll come back to see us again tomorrow when we have the PBA50.
Okay, so looking at the scores from the non-champ event. Excuse me. Yeah, pattern was on 40-foot Monticelli, which isn't too difficult, to be fair. It just can be difficult in a house with a surface is 30 years old, and lane to lane, pair to pair can be extreme, and you'll notice that by looking at some of the scores, particularly on the 47-foot pattern. Not as much on this one, but you'll also notice a big game then a bad game. Yeah, and some of the M pairs were a bit weird. Certainly 17 and 18 were weird. But yeah, 2 300s. Excuse me. In the qualifying, obviously I didn't see that because I was bowling. And yeah, well done to the guys who made it. Shout out to Stephen from the PBA50. He had a good solid day. Managed to make it by about 20 odd pins, or 30 pins in the end. Close, yeah, 30 odd pins. And that's all you really needed to do. You just needed to stay out of trouble, get 1 or 2 decent games, and you'd be in. Unfortunately, yeah, I won't go talk about mine too much. I had my 2 good games, but had 1 exceptionally bad game, which is just, I don't know, can't get that out of my head yet. You know, I mean, there's no point dwelling on it, but you know, 180 there and a 2-0 here, and I'm picking up here somewhere. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, shout out to Steve, PBA50 guy, for making it. I think Yannick is, well, he's from Aruba. Oh, Oranjestad. Someone was telling me he works for Storm. Oranjestad, a great Dutch name. Aruba, former Dutch colony. Bill, well, he's a legend around these parts. Won pretty much everything. Just has never won a PBA regional, which seems a bit odd. I don't even know the rest of these guys. So yeah, looking at the scores, going into the semi-final, Stephen from the PBA50 won again, so that's a quarter-final, that will be the semi-final, and then he just lost out by a couple of pins on a final, so well done Steve, 4th place buddy. Aaron in the end beat Bill in the quarter-final with 101 over, so yeah, Bill's luck continues here. And then Aaron goes on to win it in the end. So well done, Aaron. And that's it really. Not going to dwell too much on the scores. I didn't put too many clips of the non-champs in because a lot of these players are in the regional anyway. So the next couple of clips will be of the regional. And the next video will be of me in the car on the way down there on the Sunday morning, ranting and raving as usual. Anyway, that's that.
Well, good morning, happy people. It's now, what is it, 5 to 7. Been on the road since about 6, quarter to 6. Nearly in Lebanon, Oregon, Lynn Lanes, here for the PBA50 Regional. I was here yesterday for the PBA non-champs. That was played on Monticelli pattern, which is 40 foot. And I think about a 5-to-1 ratio, so it wasn't too tough. Although I had the worst possible start, to sit on 73 under after 1 game. Holy smokes! Wish I could blame on something, but I can't really, for the life of me, think what happened. Missed 5 easy spares, or makeable ones at least. And yeah, ended up with a 120-7.
In half a mile, take the Denny School Road exit toward Armory Airport.
So then I proceeded to just try and grind out a half-decent result. And once I got comfortable, I just thought I played really well. So my first game average, my average was 127.
Take the Denny School Road exit, then merge onto Denny School Road.
And my last 6 game average was 220. So yeah, kind of sucks. My first game 127, my last game 267. So yeah, kind of sucks, especially considering I missed the cut, the cash line, by about 20 pins. See, I went from last all the way up to 14th. The cash was at 11 and the cut was at 8. And I missed the
Continue for 3 miles.
Missed the cut by about 50. And as I said, the cash by about 20. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But today is another day. PBA50 today. So this time it's on Badger. Thankfully not the real Badger. Not that one, the 52-foot Badger. Yeah, that would be really tough. Had a practice session yesterday on the 47-foot, so it's a modified Badger. And yeah, there was some shape there down lane, so that's good to see. It's a high friction house, so would be curious to see what happens when the fronts start to go on 47-foot. That will be interesting. But yeah, had some shape, had a half decent look, playing fairly tight. Don't want to give the pocket away. There's a couple of old guys, a couple of PBA50 guys playing left of my mark. I think most of us are playing roughly in the same area, so hopefully the lanes break down nicely today. And hopefully I can get off to a good start this time. Not be bloody 100 behind the leaders before you blink. Interestingly enough though, I didn't realise that PBA non-champ events, if you win that, you actually have a PBA regional title. Who knew? So yeah, I reckon a lot of guys back home could have smashed that as well, especially the kids. Yeah, the PBA non-champ events that I played yesterday was actually against the kids. I don't know if I said that already. See, I know a lot of guys back home, especially in Holland. If I watch how they play and I watch how these guys played yesterday, I can't see why you guys couldn't win a regional here, that's for sure. But anyway, it is what it is. Maybe one day you guys come over. So, how far am I away? I'm about 3 minutes away from the bowling alley in Lebanon, which looks like a one-horse town, to be fair. Not much going on around here. I have been here before. It's wooden approaches, so they're super slippery, and 30-odd-year-old lanes, so a lot of friction. Not many entries today. I think there's only 30 entries in the PBA50 regional, which is always a surprise. But you know, it is what it is, so you're going to play what's in front of you. The usual 5-6 top guys always show up, and they're normally the guys you have to beat anyway, so we shall see, we shall see. Don't enter if I don't believe I can win one of these. Obviously I have to play better than I've played before, but you don't try, you don't win, right? I think we're close. 2 minutes. Turning right somewhere. Well, this is Lebanon! Almost as exciting as the other Lebanon. At least that one's by the sea. You get missiles flying over every night, but apart from that, well, they've got a stadium.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto South 2nd Street.
Probably just edit this driving bit out and leave the video running when I pull into the bowling alley. You can see what the bowling alley looks like from the outside.
At the light, turn right onto South 2nd Street.
Well, it can't be all bad, they've got traffic lights. Woo! Sugar, wake up, Cosy. Ding, ding, ding.
In 300 yards, continue straight onto South Main Road.
Damn, there's people here already. Thought I'd be early.
Continue straight onto South Main Road, then turn right.
Well, here it is. Lynn Lanes, Lebanon, Oregon.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the left.
Yeah, I know, lady, I know. I
Your
can see it.
destination is on the left.
I think I'm going to take the front row here. Right, we're here. Stop recording. Stop recording. Okay, so you're walking into the bowl. There's the Jeep. Actually, let's zoom out. There's the Jeep, and this is Lynn Lanes. Too many doors. And I think, there he is there, Jake Peters on the PBA itself. There he goes. Done and dusted. Yeah, these are going to be fried. Right, do some more videos later. And that's PBA Regional. I did bowl. He started practicing throwing down the gutter. $190 for Jake Peters. I shot 266 my first game. Anyway, here's the 300.
Thomas and the regional. We've got Bill, Thomas, Blaine and Michael. Approaching the last couple of frames. I think it's pretty tight. It's hard to tell because I can't see the scores. I know the final scores, and I think it must come down to the next couple of shots. See Thomas on the right on lane 11, that's 108 in the 7th, so he spares off strikes, it's a 120. He strikes out, it's 128, 158, 218 max. Not sure what Bill is at the moment. And the same for, I want to guess, on the PBA50 side, that is Blaine's score on the right screen. He strikes out 135, 65, 225. I have no idea what Michael is on. Anyway, here goes Bill. Let's see what he gets on this shot. So he's on a double. Still don't know what his score is. Oh, he's got a turkey actually. Here goes Blaine in the 8th. Big shot there. If I can remember, the final scores were 211 to a 180 something for Blaine and a 190 to a 160 something for Bill, I think. So Bill's got a turkey, so that must have pulled it back into the match. Yeah, hard to tell. Sorry about the poor commentary. Not my thing. Let's see, Bill. This will be for 4 in a row, I guess. No, slightly right. Ball's in shape, or burnt up too early. Hard to tell from here. Now we've got Michael on the right lane, left hand side of the picture. And yeah, also slightly right. That's a 2-pin. I found that during my time when I was slightly right, it was a 210. Maybe, I mean, probably too far right. But yeah, interesting to see that the seniors versus the adults. I could certainly see from what I saw when I was there yesterday. All the higher up kids were definitely burning a hole a lot bigger than what we had. So. Yeah, hard to tell. And the score differentials between lane to lane were huge. A lot of players get a big game than a bad game. Anyway, it's a rookie for Thomas. Oh, here we go, you can see the scores now. Bill's on a 145 in the 7th after that spare. Thomas is on a 120 in the 7th. So yeah, 20 pins in it. Thomas strikes here. That would put Bill under pressure in the next shot. Bill will strike out for a 230. Best Thomas can do is a 218. But he needs to strike here. And that's it, game over. So, yeah. That's why he ended up with a 160, I guess. So that's 140, 150. He spares in the 10th. And yeah, that's a 160 for Thomas. Yeah, so well done, Bill. Well, that screen keeps flickering, but anyway. Then we got Blaine. I think this is a big shot for Blaine. He strikes here. I think he shuts him out. Certainly puts him under pressure. Yeah, tell by his reaction, he was happy with that. Big shot, big shot. So it was 211 to 180 something, so yeah. Don't know if he needed that. Bill here, on the other hand, needed something, and he just kept the door open just a little bit with that split. That looks like a 160 in the 8th, and with the split would be a 170 and something in the 9th. So I guess the door's marginally open. Or we need a spare in the 10th. 180 something, but pin count might come into play if Thomas had struck out in the 10th. For a 186 ball would have to have a double, but goes up first. Doesn't
So Bill, he just needs to mark, or actually he needs a double just to make sure he gets count, just to stop Thomas, because Thomas will get 186. What I can see there is Bill had a 145 with an open. What was Bill's final score again? I can't remember. 197. No, it's okay, he had no count then, because that was a 156, so yeah, Bill just needed to mark in that frame. Didn't really matter. So yeah, that was that. That was the 3 events in one weekend. The PBA 50 Regional, the PBA Non-Championships, and the PBA Normal Regional Championships. So well done Bill, well done Blaine, and well done to Aaron, who won the 3 events. And that's it. What's up next might just be me talking bollocks on the way home. I haven't quite decided how I'm putting this video together yet. But yeah, well done guys. And yeah, we'll catch you next one. See you later, bye.
Right, moving on into the scores. As you can see, Bill, start to finish really. First round leader, second round back to the lead, and had the top spot for the step ladder and won his first PBA title. Yeah, well done, Bill. It's an excellent result, mate, and well deserved. So not going to dwell too much on the rest of the scores. I don't really know all these people. I know. Let's have a look. Mind you, I'm always interested to see where the low games are. Like for instance, there, transition. There, transition. I mean, 240, 250, 240, 150, and then a 300, then a 160. How does that happen? It's so difficult. These lanes are these. I mean, when you're lined up, sure, you can score in this house. But you get that bad pair at the wrong time, you've got to grind. You've got to grind, and I think that's what Jake Peters did. He just grinded his way out and got 2 decent games, and he's in. And Jake Peters, if you don't know, is a national PBA player. I think he's had a fantastic year this year on the PBA. But yeah, as I said, I don't know many of these guys. I do know Sean, obviously. Sean being the oldest man, Sean, in the final, I think, that made it. Turning 50 this year or next year, or PBA50 eligible pretty soon. Well done, Sean. Good result. Nice one for Chris as well. The guys have just missed out in this area here. Yeah, pretty steady, but no big game to push you over the line. I mean, they're 230, 210, 160, 250, 240, 150. You know what I mean? That 150 pushed him out. It's incredible. Oh, look at that, 124. I don't have the lowest game. Boop, boop, boop. I don't have the lowest game. Well, how does that happen? Oh, I know. Get the spares, Paul, when you're grinding out a tough game. Who else? Tanner, local guy, good player. I didn't get the video of him in his quarterfinal in the non-50, in the non-champs event, sorry. He lost out to Manny. Was it Manny? It might have been Manny, yeah. Yeah, and he bought a 149 in his first game. Ended up beating Tanner 2-1. And yeah, Tanner had no look, as far as I can remember. Anything outside stayed right. No shape at all, really. So yeah, that's a tough break. And then there's Gary as well. Gary's a lefty, and I'm not sure how many lefties there were in this field. There weren't that many. So yeah, I mean, pretty solid block. I mean, you know, one decent game. We just needed the other big game just to push him through, and he would have made it. So yeah, unlucky Gary. Then going on to the final, sorry, the advancer round 1. Again, Bill starts off. That's that again. I'm always curious to see where the bad games are. So, don't know what happened with Bill's first game. Finds what he needs to do and smashes the rest. Who didn't make the cut? I think Chris just missed out. Probably that game there. Jake Peters missed out. I mean, there's a massive surprise. Probably because he was a bit too far back initially. I'm not sure. Oh, Sean finished top 10. Well done, Sean. That's a good result, mate. It really is a good result. And yeah, you know, bad start, bad games, you know. It ain't easy, that's for sure. And then Andrew, just 119. I don't want to laugh because I had a 120, you know what I mean? But it just shows, actually, you know, I had the third lowest game. I didn't even have the lowest game, or the second lowest game. Actually, no, that wasn't on this pattern, was it? No, that was on the other pattern. On the easier one. Goodness me. Anyway, it just goes to show how difficult it can be, right? Transition. That's all this game is about. Match up, smash it, don't grind it. That's my new slogan. Anyway, that's the end of that. Well done, Bill. Next up is what? Probably just a clip of the PBA50 stuff and me in the car ranting and raving as usual. See ya, bye. Excuse me. Right, let's just get into this quickly. This video is already extremely long. I've combined all 3 events into one here. Yeah, so Blaine from the get-go completely smashed it, right? Had no issues at all, apart from maybe his third game and his last game of the advance round. Other than that, you know, the guy was on fire and fully deserved his win, really. And in fact, you know, a 177 and a 180 on this, I probably would have taken it as my bad game. Yeah, so well done, Blaine. Pretty much smashed it from the get-go. Same as Michael Kennedy. You know, pretty solid. Don't know what happened in his penultimate game, but shot an amazing game the last game on lane 17 and 18, which I thought was the most difficult pair in the house. Don't really know the rest of these guys. I know Russell, he plays on the national tour, so he's just come back from a couple of events on the PBA50 national tour, which I saw that he cashed in all of those. And then I don't know the rest apart from Aaron. Clay Reese certainly looks like a new guy on the PBA50, and he's got some great form, throws a great ball. No doubt he's going to be doing well in these events. But again, it's like most of us amateurs, we can shoot when we're lined up, and sometimes we just make some wrong decisions when the lanes change. And yeah, so 235, 140 figures it out as a good amateur should, and there comes screaming back. Same as Aaron. Aaron's just grinding, finds that amazing pair, bang, 250. So he shoots 250, he shoots 280 on the same pair. I think that was 5 and 6. And yeah, where some other people, me in particular, once I lost it, I never found it again. Didn't even get close. And I think pretty much everybody in this area here probably felt the same. And under tournament conditions, you've got to make decisions pretty quickly. And if you make a wrong decision, suddenly you've got 2-3 open frames, and then you've got a bad game. Unless you find it, of course, which I didn't do. Anyway, moving on into the second round. Again, pretty steady scores for the top 3, and some lower scores for some of the good players, which is just, my head goes, how? But I get it, it's not easy. It really isn't easy on these longer patterns where there's a massive out of bounds to the right. Certainly for us PBA50 guys with a slightly lower rev rate than the regular adults. A, we didn't break the lanes down as much, and B, if we are right, we don't have the revs just to get around that corner and avoid those 210s. And then in the step ladder, interesting enough, the PBA50 guys had higher score than the men on the regular tour, as you just saw in the video. But yeah, I guess that's just due to breakdown. But yeah, well done, Blaine. Amazing. Right, next up is my final bit that I do in the car on the way home, and some of my wonderful insights about bowling. Don't get bored to death. Anyway, that's that, guys. Thanks for watching.
Well, hello, happy people. Not a happy face. And yeah, no check either. So yeah, I'm on my way home, feeling a bit grumpy, tired, up at 5 AM this morning. Yeah, don't know what to say really. Played the 47-foot Badger and played really well for the first game. Pretty much straight up the boards. Bit of surface on the old mindset, 1500 pad. Quick little fresh on the ball, was just going up the back, couldn't miss. 12 pockets the first game for a 260 with an open frame, missed the 10 pin. And then after that it was just rubbish. Probably played 1 or 2 bad shots in the second game and made a move of that instead of just trying to throw better. And yeah, ended up being 10 over after 2, and it just got progressively worse. So yeah, not great. So feeling pretty annoyed right now. But at the same time, my brain's thinking, well, that was tough. I don't play many tough things anymore. Certainly not with my peers. Playing a tough pattern with the seniors over here is totally different than playing a tough pattern with seniors back home. And also playing over here on the high friction is just, it's unbelievable how quickly you have to go left, and I didn't do that today. So I hung out kind of straight for too long. If you miss a little bit right, then recover a little bit left in the nose, and then by the time I moved really deep, again the ball was hooking either too early, change balls, the ball doesn't hook down lane. So trying to find the ball that hooked not too early but still had some shape, well, I couldn't find that in my bag today. Tried to change my hand a few times, had a good look every now and again with 1 or 2 balls, but not consistent enough. So can't really blame anything else but me. Yeah, my fault really. Yeah, not much more I can say about that. Kind of sucks. So got some video of the PBA50 PBA guys as well. No PBA50 guys because I was bowling obviously, and when you're struggling you ain't got time to take your phone out and have a look around. So yeah, we're starting with a 260 and not making the cut kind of sucks. And I think the cut was only 40 over in the end, or 50 over. So yeah, put that in perspective though, you know, a couple of guys started off really well. One of the guys started with back-to-back 270 games for 150 over after 2. Didn't make the cut because the lanes change and it's really tough to get the right ball in your hand at the right time. These guys are good. So it just reiterates how tough transition can be. Something that, you know, as an 80s bowler we didn't really see in my brain. And just, I know if I have the right ball in my hand, and I think most of us know this, most decent amateurs anyway, that you're going to score big. Right ball in your hand in the right part of the lane, you're going to smash it. So you got your 10 minutes practice, you figure it out, boom. It's when you move to that next lane, what you're going to do then when the ball does something different, how you're going to react, what decisions you're going to make. That's what takes you to the next level. And I'm still trying to get to that level. Sure, sometimes I get it right, but I get it wrong more often than I get it right, and that's the hardest part about bowling. Is understanding what's going on when you're missing, and also, more importantly, what's going on when you're striking. Because it's easy to forget to look at your ball and your shapes when you're striking, because you think, well, I'm playing so well, everything's going great, blah blah blah, and not making a mental picture of what that looks like. Anyway, no excuse, didn't bowl well, it is what it is. Yeah, there's some video coming up of some of the regional stuff. I didn't do too much video, but yeah, if you're interested in my channel, like and subscribe, eh? What can I say?